We're starting another chapter now, and in this chapter, we're going to start looking at how you communicate your design intent. Now, that sounds very complex. It's not. What you're doing is you're communicating your design in your DWG file to someone so that they can read it, they can look at it, they can visualize from it, but more importantly, they understand it. They grasp the concept of your design. Now, for this chapter, we've got a new drawing for you. It's called GF, which stands for ground floor, and then it's 1031 Southeast Madison. 1031 Southeast Madison is the address of the new project. So it's on Southeast Madison, and it's building number 1031, and GF is ground floor. Download that from the library to follow along with the videos in this chapter. Now, we're going to start in the Model tab, and we do jump around a bit between Model tab and Layout tab in this particular instance. But what we've got to do is design a simple title block that we can utilize. And then what we're going to do with that title block is move it into a Layout tab and develop a page setup around it. So make sure, Layers panel, Home tab on the ribbon, make sure you're on the title block layer. We've got title block, title text. We're going to be using both of those, but we want title block first. And then zooming and panning, just zoom in so that you're kind of right here. Can you see sort of top left corner of the ground floor plan? And we're going to draw a rectangle. So draw panel, click on the flyout, rectangle, pick a point about here and drag upwards to the right. Now, I'm working in metric millimeters because I'm in the UK. This would be different if you were working in the US in inches and imperial. So I'm going to be using metric millimeters throughout this chapter. You will need to convert to inches, imperial, etc. And also sheet sizes. I'll be using European, UK sheet sizes. You'll need to convert those to US sheet sizes, for example. Now I'm going to type in 841 as the length of the rectangle. Then I'm going to tab. And then the other one is 594. Now they are millimeters, I hasten to add, so it's quite a diddy little rectangle at the moment. I'm going to press enter to confirm, and then I'm going to zoom in on that rectangle. Get it nice front and center there on the screen. Now we're going to develop a really simple title block. Now in order to do this, we need to use a bit of offsetting, bit of text styles, and so on. You'll see what happens. I'm going to go to offset on the modify panel. There's offset. And the offset distance initially, 20. 20, press enter. I'm going to select my rectangle, click on it, and move inside. Can you see there's outside, orange on the outside, orange on the inside. So the orange rectangle is the offsetted rectangle, if you get what I mean. So make sure you're inside. The original rectangle is that purple one you can see. So orange on the inside, left click. Press enter to confirm. We're going to right click and repeat offset, set a distance this time of 10 and press enter. Select the inner rectangle that you've just created, click on it, move inside again. Remember orange on the inside, not the outside. Left click and enter to finish. Select the two inner rectangles that you've created, these two here, up to the modify panel and click on explode. That explodes them from rectangles, polylines, to their original line segments. So you're now going to select 1, 2, 3. Those three there. Right click and erase. We're then going to go back to offset up here on the modify panel. This time the offset distance will be 30. And you're going to select the middle line. Can you see? Not that one. Not that one. That's a polyline anyway. It's that one you want there. Click on it, move upwards, click again to offset, enter to finish. Now this line left in here, we're going to use as a guide for our title block text. Talking of text, we need to create some text styles. Up to the annotation flyout here, click on the A with the paintbrush. That will open up the text style dialog box. We're going to click on new. And our first new text style will be title underscore layout. Make sure you spell it right. There's nothing worse than a misspelled text style. And then underscore again and 10 mm for millimeters. Click on OK. So there's title layout 10. Now, the font at the moment is that one previewed there. Blech, not nice. That's an old SHX style font. We want to use a nice TrueType font. So we're going to click on the flyout. And little trick here, you can do this in any Windows-based application in a drop-down menu like this. If I now type C on the keyboard, it will take me to the first font that begins with C. And that's good because Calibri is right there, and that's the one I need. So Calibri there, and I'm going to go for bold italic as the style, like that. Height of that will be 10, as per the name of the text style, 10 millimeters. All of the effects we leave as they are. We don't need upside down, backwards, width factor, or anything like that. We click on apply. So that is our title layout 10 millimeters set. We're going to click on new again. This time we're going to create another text style, notes, N-O-T-E-S, underscore layout again. Make sure you spell it right. I'm not having a good day with spelling layout today, as you can see. Underscore and then 3.5 millimeters. Click on OK. Now that will adopt the settings that the title layout 10 millimeters had. Click on notes layout 3.5. We're going to change the font style back to regular and change the height back to 3.5 as per the name of the text style. Click on apply. They're now both applied to the styles list. Select title layout 10 millimeters. Click on set current. Click on close. If you click on your little flyout now, title layout 10 millimeters is your current text style. Go up to the text flyout on the annotation panel and select single line text. And then we're going to zoom in on the lower left corner of our title block. Now we're going to right click and we're going to go to justify. You want to be justifying to the left, which is the default anyway. And then the endpoint snap on this line here will be the first point of our text. Click there. Move away, and the rotation angle of the text is going to be 0. We want it horizontal. So 0 for horizontal. Press enter to confirm. And there's our little cursor. Now, we're going to type in here ground floor plan, like so. Press enter once, press enter twice. That closes out the single line text command. Zoom out a little bit. Pan across a little bit to the right corner of the little text box there. Can you see bottom right corner of the title block? Again, up to text here, select single line on the flyout, right click and justify. And you're going to go right. Select the right justification. It asks now for the right end point of the text baseline. So we go to the endpoint snap on the other end of the line, left click, move away, and it'll ask you for the rotation angle again. 0 is fine, press to confirm. There's our little flashing cursor. Now, this is where AutoCAD gets clever. Because you've put a right justification in, it's going to justify from the right-hand side instead of the sort of default left-hand side. So I'm just going to type in here, linked in learning, like so. There you go. Enter once, enter twice, and as you can see, it's justified to the right-hand end of the line. If you zoom out a little now and bring that sort of front and center, it looks like a picture frame. And you've got your simple title block. What we're going to do, we're going to select this line here. We don't need it anymore. Right click, erase. There we go. The text looks really nice now in that little bounding box at the bottom. Now, go up to the annotation flyout and select text styles here. And on the drop down there, you now want your notes layout 3.5. There it is there. So that is now your current text style. And a little trick to remember, we've put those bits of text in, they're not actually on the title text layer. So I need to select these two here, because they're on the title block layer at the moment. We need to go down our layers here, title text, remember, not title block. Hit escape a couple of times to deselect those, and then make sure that your current drafting layer is title text to place our notes up here in the top right corner. So zoom in a bit again. And we're going to go up to the annotation panel, click on the flyout and select multi-line text. And then just click as if you're placing a rectangle. So it's click, drag, click. And as you can see, the little ruler kicks in. As you can see there, we're in our text editor tab, the contextual tab on the ribbon, using multi-line text. If you want to zoom in a bit, you can. There you go. And I'm going to type in notes in caps like that with a colon after it. I'm going to press enter takes me to the next line of text in the multi-line text area that I've specified. Now, one of the really neat new features available in later versions of AutoCAD is if I type 1 and put a dot and then press the space bar, can you see it automatically starts numbering and paragraphing in for me, just like Microsoft Word does. Really useful. So I'm going to put here all dimensions are in millimeters. And I'm spelling millimeters the UK way. Obviously, if you're in America, that would be ERS rather than RES. Press enter again, and you'll notice it puts the next number in for me, just like it would in a Word document. And I'll put something like do not dimension from the drawing. Because you don't normally dimension from a drawing, you normally dimension on site and then commit that information to the drawing. Once you've done that, just click away from the text, zoom out slightly. You can see that your notes are a little bit too far away there. So maybe what we could do is bring this in a little bit, like that. Click on the arrow and click there, and then click on this grip here, and just move that a little bit further along to there. Hit escape to deselect, zoom out slightly, front and center, and you can see you now have a simple title block ready to use.